Welcome online, ladies and gentlemen. We are just getting set up for today's event. Type in where you're from as we get started. All right, and we got rid of that weird echo that always happens at the start. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are live streaming into the NEUMI NEU Facebook group for anybody who's checking out NEUMI for the first time. And we're also in the Zoom room. So do us a favor, type in exactly where you're watching us from as we get started. There's a 60-second countdown going to happen, and that gives you an opportunity to make sure the people you've invited online are ready to go. Whoops-a-daisy. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we've just had a technical glitch. Let me stop that person from sharing their screen and we will get the event started. Steve, be careful with the buttons just for the moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me firstly welcome you online today and let you know that we do have captions for those people who don't speak the language, and we also have Spanish translation in the room as well. So with that in mind, this is a little instruction for those people who don't speak English.
Untuk mengaktifkan terjemahan bahasa Indonesia, silakan klik caption di panel laptop atau handphone Anda semua.
Para poder obtener la traducción en español, es necesario hacer clic en el menú de Zoom y elegir la opción Subtítulos en español.
大家好，如果你想看字幕，请按屏幕底下的 CC 按钮，选择中文。此功能仅适用于直播。
Bonjour, bienvenue à cet événement NEUMI. Vous pouvez activer les sous-titres dans votre langue en cliquant sur Sous-titres au bas de l'écran. Veuillez noter que cette option fonctionne uniquement dans la salle Zoom en direct. Merci et bonne écoute.
大家好，如果你想看字幕，請按屏幕底下嘅 CC 按鈕選擇中文。呢個功能淨係適用於直播。
Alrighty, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, about to start today's event, please join me in welcoming your MC for today, Keith Chazon.
Well, hey, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday night breakthrough with Stephen Scott. You know, when Jamie and I were first introduced to NEUMI, April 17, 2022, I couldn't have been more excited. It was an answer to a prayer that I had had for quite some time. And the more I got to know the company and Stephen Scott himself, the more I realized exactly how much of an answer to a prayer this exactly was. So you're going in for a real treat tonight. I'm excited to be able to introduce this amazing breakthrough founder, gentleman, the man of NEUMI, here to share this breakthrough technology that actually brought him out of retirement. Help me welcome Stephen K. Scott. Stephen, take it away.
Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, Keith, and your sweet wife, Jamie. Everybody on this call, you're appreciated, you're valued, you're the reason we have this call. It's not that I'm looking for something to do at 6 p.m. in the evening. Gratefully, I'm alone in the house right now. I don't know how long that'll last. I'm doing it from my house because I have other things tonight that I have to do right after this. Next week, I'm going to unveil a new presentation. So you're going to want to get people on it. It will include many of the things that we talk about tonight, but it will have some new things and that are somewhat, when you see them, they're kind of startling. So it's pretty cool. My background, for those that don't know, and I apologize for those of you that do show up every week and hear this over and over again, but without my background, I have no credibility because who am I, right? And the truth is, I flunked out of my first 9 jobs after college. In fact, Zig Ziglar wrote the cover endorsement of my first book in 1996. He said, Steve Scott is living proof that failure is an event, not a person. I don't care how many failures you had, you cannot match me. I was the ever-ready bunny that would get up after every failure. After I lost job number 3, one of the great marketing gurus of this country that I worked for looked at me and said, Steve, you're the greatest single greatest disappointment in my entire career. You will never succeed in marketing. You have 20 minutes to clean out your desk. He had told the 160 people in the marketing department that he was going to fire me right after lunch. I was 23 years old, father of one 9-month-old child. And needless to say, when he told me that, I was devastated. I had no money in the bank, no way to pay rent, no way to buy food. And he told me I later found out why God let him do that. And it was great. And believe me, the whole story is a fun story, but we don't have time tonight. But on job number 10, I started a company with my 52-year-old mentor. I was 27, he was 52. He had $5,000. I had a vision and it acquired the rights to a product. And with that, we started a little company called the American Telecast Corporation. And 5 months later, our sales in 1976 hit $1 million a week. Now, that's when gasoline was at 35 cents a gallon. So $1 million back then was a lot of money, especially when it was coming in every week. And we didn't go down from that. That wasn't for 1 or 2 weeks. That one product kept producing that much revenue for the next 2 years. So that was 52. So that's 104 weeks. But by the time that product slowed down, we had 3 other products on the air doing even more. And by the time I retired 35 years later, we had done many billions in sales. I had written and produced and directed over 800 television commercials selling our products and generated over 40 million phone calls. So my guy that said you'll never succeed in marketing, tell that to the people that bought our products and spent billions and billions of dollars buying our products from the marketing campaigns that I created. Now, what he didn't know, I had a secret partner. I had a partner, and that partner did 100% of the work, and I went along for the ride. That partner was God. Everything that I had came from God. I'd learned some strategies from the book of Proverbs. I had 2 mentors mentor me in how to turn those strategies into skill sets, and the skill sets worked miracles. And nobody's ever topped 40 million phone calls from television commercials. That's a record. The closest writer to that, I think he did 7 million. So over a lifetime. So anyway, we had a lot of success. Why? Well, first and foremost, we would find and take to market only breakthrough products. A breakthrough is a product that can do something that nothing else in the world can do as effectively or efficiently. And so our first product was a medical product. It was an acne product. And this was before Accutane or any of the oral antibiotics had been created. And it was a real big breakthrough. It sold at 4 times the price, the number 1 and number 2 brands. And yet we became the number 1 brand our first week on the air. That's the power of a breakthrough. We not only applied it to acne medications, we ended up with things like an educational program called Where There's a Will, There's an A, that could take a D student and turn them into an A student overnight. It worked for my daughter. It worked for millions of kids. It became the in-house study skills program ultimately for many of the best universities in the United States, and on and on. It's why we have the brand Under Armour. Under Armour wouldn't exist had that college student, not taken the course Where There's a Will, There's an A. His own football coach had the whole football team go through it, and he was on that team at University of Maryland. We had a product called Deal-A-Meal. How big a breakthrough was Deal-A-Meal? Well, it was a weight loss program where you didn't diet, you didn't count calories, you didn't count carbs. You know what you did? You took cards out of one side of a wallet and moved them to the other side based on what you ate for breakfast, what you ate for lunch, what you ate for dinner. And that allowed you to manage your meals in an incredible way that nobody had ever done. And it worked for millions of people. In fact, one of the people that used Deal a Meal lost 715 pounds. He set the Guinness Book of Records for weight loss. His wife lost 300 pounds. That's a product that works. The product we're best known for here in the United States is a product called the Total Gym. With Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley. By the way, one of my secrets was I would recruit, and this was no easy task, major celebrities. By the time I retired, we had 93 celebrities under contract, Academy Award winners for their movie stars, television stars that had won their Emmy Awards, recording artists that had won Grammy Awards, and of course, just a few athletes that were Hall of Famers, like Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw, both had 4 Super Bowl rings. So we had a formula, it worked, and for decades I was making millions of dollars a year. Personally, all my partners were each making millions of dollars a year, and I had the most fun job in the world. I was getting to direct television talent, movie stars, Cher, Jane Fonda, Charlton Heston, Tom Selleck, Michael Landon, John Ritter, Gavin MacLeod, and on and on and on. And it was a fun job, most fun, exciting job a person could have. And my partners were closer to me, honestly, than my own family members. I saw them every day. We loved working together every day for 35 years. I couldn't wait to get to work. Even when we were losing money and there was a shot our company was going to go out of business because somebody stole $24 million from us. And that's a lot of money to have stolen from you. But I loved it. But in 2006, I met a scientist who introduced me to the word glutathione. And he laid out before me a vision of what it could do if we could ever effectively deliver glutathione and L-cysteine to the cells. What he basically showed me is it would be the biggest game changer of all time. It would change human performance. It had the potential to change longevity, lifespans. It had real potential to change athletic performance, accelerate recovery. I mean, there wasn't an area of life it didn't touch. And so what we're going to talk about today is glutathione. Now, I thought instead of doing our normal, before I tell you what glutathione is and why our process, which we own, nobody else in the world has hydrostat nano delivery. And it makes everything I'm going to talk about possible. Nobody else in the world has it. That's why I came out of retirement. I retired at 69. And 6 weeks later, a scientist said, what if? What if I could get the particle size of glutathione and a few other cofactors down below a certain level? I said, if you can do that, we will change life on Earth, at least the life of people that use the product and lives. And so I came out of retirement. Here we were all excited. I've had the joy of writing about, well, now it's 16 books. And Random House is the biggest publisher in the world. They were my publisher, and they wanted my next 7 books. So I was just going to retire. My wife and I would cruise. I get to write while we're cruising, which I often do, as I do my writing typically on airplanes and in hotel rooms. And so we were excited. And then I meet this scientist, and it changes everything. I walk away. Why? Because he had a way to get the particle size small enough that instead of having to go through the stomach, it would absorb right into your bloodstream through your mucous membranes inside your cheeks. And that would make a night and day Mount Everest to the rock in your driveway difference in utilization in the cells, cellular delivery, cellular utilization. Now, what I'm going to do right now, Michael, let's pull up the before and afters real quick. We're going to show you what happens when we turned this technology into a topical product. Before we do that, Michael, while you're getting those ready, I gave everybody an assignment last Tuesday. Hopefully you did it. If you didn't, you really missed out, and you can do it now. Is to go to the internet, that Google search bar, type in the name of your favorite skincare company, your favorite cosmetic company, L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, La Prairie, you name it. You can pull it up, and here's what you do. You type in the search bar, you type in the name of the company, like La Prairie. You then, right behind that, in the same bar, you type in skincare. So it's La Prairie skincare, and then these words, before and afters. You then do the search, and then right under the search bar, you'll see where you can look at all or images or videos or whatever. You click on images, and that will bring up before and afters that everybody else touts and brags about. The only problem is I was showing these to a new intern that we have. It's a marketing intern in our company. And I pulled up a line where the average product is anywhere from $450 per unit, like for an ounce, to $1,500 per ounce. And I pulled up their before and afters, and he looked at him and he said, I don't see a difference. And I said, well, look at that one. That has circles. So look at the circles where they were circled on the person's face afterwards and before. He said, I still can't see any difference. Well, neither could I. That's the point. I said, then I'll show you our before and afters. We won't have to circle anything in red. We won't have to squint and get real close to yeah, I think I see that. You won't have to do any of that. You just look at it the way you look at anything. And here are the differences. We're going to show you some now. This is the difference our technology makes. Okay, this lady. Now, we put our technology into a topical spray, for example. So my instruction, this was the first one that I did it with, was spray your face for 8 weeks. Take a picture before, and then take a picture at the 8-week mark. Well, she couldn't wait 8 weeks, so she took the picture at 7 weeks. She's 59 years old. Her name is Sherry Warner. She is now with NEUMI. This is years before we started NEUMI. And I was blown away. Now you can come back to me, Michael, for a minute. You see, I had owned 5 different makeup and skincare companies that had done hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. And I loved makeup because we could get great before and afters. I loved hair care. We had Cher on hair care. Who better for hair than Cher? Our skincare, we had big stars on those like Angie Dickinson, Meredith Baxter Burney, Ali McGraw, Lisa Hartman, just great celebrities, Kathy Lee Gifford. And what I didn't like about skincare is you could not get good before and afters. As you will see when you look at your favorite companies before and afters, it's hard to tell the difference. And when I saw that one of Sherry, I instantly sent it to my former formulator. My former formulator, a guy named John, was president of the American Society of Cosmetic Chemists, so he's as good as it gets. In fact, he had gone to work for a company that created Botox. He was the head formulator. And when he saw Sherry's picture, let's go back to that, Michael. When he saw Sherry's picture, he said, Steve, I hate to tell you, she's had a facelift. I said, no, she hasn't. She lives on a farm, works on a farm. She has not had a facelift. I've known her for 15 years. He said, no topical in the product in the world can do that. Botox can't even do that. I said, well, we're doing it. And he said, well, how the heck are you doing it? And I told him, and he just goes, oh, my Lord, nobody has ever done what you're doing. I said, I know. So let's just see, just so you know, that's not a one-off experience. Let's look at a few more, Michael. Let's just start scrolling down. So this person has an irritation that would normally take weeks. 3 days later, look at her skin. Perfect. Next. Okay, these were the hands of a woman in Australia. And you can see the difference 6 weeks made. It looked like she took 20 years off of the skin on her hands. Next. Okay, this is a younger woman who has no problem, But normally you can't turn a ruddy complexion like the one on the left, which is a red shade to the skin, to a peaches and cream, which is to the right. Now, I could do that with makeup. I learned how to do before and afters. I learned how to do full face makeup when I owned a makeup company. And I can do that to a degree with makeup, but you can't do it with skincare. Well, here, 6 weeks, and her complexion became a perfect peaches and cream skin tone. Next. Okay, here you can see the obvious difference in 6 weeks between A and B. Next. This lady couldn't wait 8 weeks. She waited 8 days. She is an esthetician, a skincare specialist in Miami, Florida, that owns her own salon. And she sent that picture and she said, Steve, where did my pores go? Look how much brighter. Look at how much tighter. Look at how much smoother my skin is. She said, I've been in skincare my whole adult life. There's nothing else that does this. I said, I know. And once again, I can't take credit for what God's given us. I mean, this isn't me. Look at this. This guy is 85 years old when this picture was taken. He's in Toronto, Canada, and he had the hands of an 80-year-old man. Now he has the hands of a 30-year-old man. Okay, took 40 days. This lady has had those dark circles most of her adult life. They're related to something else going on in her body, and she thought she'd have them the rest of her life. Well, 6 weeks, they're gone. Next. Okay, that one, once again, we're going from just to a nicer skin tone in 4 weeks. Next. Okay, these were my hands. I was 71. My son wanted me to do a half face. Ryan, I said, no, I'll look really goofy if I do half my face, but I'll spray my right hand and not my left hand. Well, you can see the difference. If you can't see the difference, go see your eye doctor. Thank you. Next, and this woman, once again, it's just a smoother, more even skin tone. Normally you would use a base, a makeup base or a foundation to do that. This is just her natural skin without the makeup. And look how much smoother. Look under the eyes. Look at the eyes on her. And that was 4 weeks. Next. We're going to go through fast. Okay, this is another woman in Australia. She is not a NEUMI member, but she is a client of a NEUMI member. And she said, I love what it's doing for my skin. The only problem is everybody's asking me how I lost my weight, and I haven't lost any weight. It's just tightened my skin so nicely, it looks like I've lost weight. Well, that's a problem to complain about. Next. Okay, there you see a little difference in 6 days. Next. Here again, we have a younger person, but look how the pores have disappeared, how much smoother, how much brighter the skin is, how much more even the skin tone is. Next. Okay, there you see in the neck, the chin, the lips. Next, that's only 2 weeks. Next, we're almost done. 4 weeks, look at her neck. Look at her under her eyes. Look at her mouth. Next. Okay, this woman is 84 years old. She says, I have the legs of an old lady. Well, not anymore. I mean, look at the difference in 10 weeks. This lady, 7 days, it's just a more even skin tone, and it opened up her eyes a little bit. This old guy, he was 71. I'm 75 now, and I wanted to see for myself. So I sprayed my face for 7 weeks, and you can see a difference. A lot less inflammation. And now I love this one. This lady is 60 years old, and like Sherry, it looks like she's had a facelift. And that was after 1 month. Look what happened after 7 months. Now, I met her recently, and she honestly looks like she's about 40, 38 to 42 would be my age range if I was casting her for television, which I used to do. And but no, she's 60 years old. Now, there's nothing that can do that. There you see crepey legs, and then crepey legs gone, 12 weeks. Next. I love this lady. She's one of my favorites, 84 years old. And we asked her, and it turned out it wasn't 2 weeks, it was 1 month. But we asked her, how the heck did you get those results? She said, I put bottles of the spray and swish all over the house. And my rule was anytime I passed one, I had to use it. So I sprayed like crazy and I swished like crazy. And you can see the result. She doesn't look like an 80-year-old there. Okay, hands, we'll move on down, but you can see the difference in 2 weeks. Here we see, look at that difference in 8 weeks. Look at the neck, the mouth. And of course, this lady's in Nigeria. She's in her 80s. She's the mother of a doctor. The inflammation, the discoloration, it's all gone. Okay, back to me. Now, how does this happen? Here's the cool thing. The skin is your body's largest organ. Okay, more square inches, more square centimeters, more volume. Your skin is 23 layers of dead skin on top of the dermal tissue, which is your living tissue. And it's an organ like everything else, except your skin is exposed to solar radiation during the day, cosmic radiation at night. It's susceptible to all the environmental toxins that are in the air. If you get into water, you swim, there's always toxins. It's just what are the levels? And so it's exposed to things your other organs aren't. And yet we see that big of a change. Guess what we do when you use our NutraSwish? Our NutraSwish is our supplement. And I don't have a bottle here because I came quite unprepared. I raced home to get home on time. But you take 2 little capfuls, put them into your mouth, and you start swishing. And you can hold it under your tongue. Okay, that's the action. You can swish for as little as 30 seconds. We recommend, doing between the swishing and holding it under your tongue, do it for at least a minute. We have athletes that do it for 3 and 4 minutes. One athlete that broke a bunch of world records used to do it for 7 minutes. And I said, Bill, that's overkill. So he came down to 4 minutes. And, but it's whatever your body needs, whatever you want. And, but what's happening is as you're swishing, are nanoparticles, which are encapsulated in ultra pure, specialized water, where we've just done a little manipulation with the hydrogen molecules, just moved them a little bit further apart to make the water more active. And we call it hydrostat. And as you're swishing, it's taking the nanoparticles directly into your bloodstream. And within 70 seconds, according to one scientist at the University of Utah Nano Department, within 70 seconds, because of our particle size and our water encapsulation, it's out of your bloodstream and into every cell in your body. Now, we know that's true for a whole bunch of reasons. Number one, the science says so, but also a lot of our athletes are drug tested when they win, and we have a number of winning athletes, and nothing ever shows up. Now, even if it did, there's nothing illegal in our product, so we're working on getting what's called our BSCG certification. It'll come soon. It's Banned Substance Control Group, where they check for 480 banned substances. We're free and clear on that, so athletes don't have to worry about using it. Now, so what are we doing? What are we putting into these nanoparticles? Thing called glutathione and L-cysteine. L-cysteine is one of the 3 peptides that your body electrically and chemically sews together with 2 other peptides to make a tripeptide, a longer chain molecule. And so let's talk about glutathione. Glutathione is the most important molecule in life. It's right there with oxygen. Without glutathione, nobody'd be on this call. There'd be no life on Earth. No people, no animals, no plants, no trees, no lizards, no reptiles, nothing. Earth would be a dead planet. We'd have that beautiful blue atmosphere, but there'd be nothing of life to enjoy it without glutathione. It's that critical. Glutathione is the most studied molecule in medicinal chemistry. Over 180,000 published studies in PubMed, the government storehouse for medical science, on glutathione. Number 2 is vitamin C, and there's about 80,000 studies on vitamin C. Now, when glutathione first started coming to the forefront in the 1980s, there were 16,000 studies on vitamin C and 8,000 studies on glutathione. Why did it flip? Because it's the key to just about everything. So what does glutathione do? I'll start out with the problem first. Our glutathione levels decline by 8 to 15% per decade. So I'm 75. According to the insurance company, I'm now 76 because I passed my half birthday. But so my body makes less than half of the glutathione that it made at the age of 20. Not good. Why? Because it's so critical to everything we need and everything we do. And so that's what I'm going to tell you about. So let's talk about something. Glutathione performs 400 functions that we know about, maybe many more that we don't know about. And the first one we'll look at, we're gonna take 6 hours tonight to look at the first 100 of the 400. And I'm just kidding. We're only going to look at 3 or 4. But the first function is when your body makes hemoglobin, those beautiful red blood cells, the purpose is that they connect to and bind to oxygen. And when they bind to oxygen, they then deliver oxygen to every one of your 37 trillion cells. Awesome. Problem is when hemoglobin is manufactured by the body, it has the wrong electromagnetic charge. So instead of binding to oxygen, it kind of avoids oxygen, like trying to bring north poles of magnets together. Remember that when we were kids? You get them real close, you think, I'm going to do it this time. Whoops, can't do it. Same thing with hemoglobin and oxygen. So hemoglobin has to be reduced to a +2. And when it's reduced to a +2, it does attract and bind to oxygen and delivers that oxygen throughout the body. The only molecule in the universe that can reduce glutathione to that +2 is, I said glutathione, that can reduce hemoglobin to the +2 is glutathione. So that's number one. Without it, there'd be no oxygen transfer. You take that nice deep breath, the oxygen would go into your lungs, but it wouldn't go anywhere else. And you die. And guess who's home? I just heard my wife say, okay. So we may be temporarily interrupted. But Shannon, I'm on the Zoom. I think she went back out. Okay, so what else does it do? Well, we learned in the pandemic the value of the immune system. As long as we have a robust immune system, you may have gotten sick, but you recovered. Millions of people didn't recover. They died. Why? Because their immune system wasn't robust. Now, the way the immune system works, whenever there's a viral or bacterial insult, your immune system goes to work, looks for a weak chain in the link of the virus or the bacteria, and then it sends out assassins, primarily T cells, but also B cells. And those are the assassins, and they target the virus or bacteria, and with the goal of killing it. Now, the problem is the bacteria or virus is reproducing rapidly. How fast your T cells reproduce is entirely dependent on the available glutathione. Low glutathione levels, your T cells reproduce slowly. And guess who wins? The bacteria or virus. On the other hand, if you have higher levels of glutathione, your T cells reproduce rapidly and ultimately catch up and destroy the virus or bacteria. Amazing. In fact, there was an article that came out that was published in the American Chemical Society's Journal of Infectious Diseases, and it was authored by a Russian scientist, and then there were other scientists that later came up with studies that validated everything he said, but he proved his chemistry in the article. But the article was entitled "Low Levels of Endogenous Glutathione as the Cause," did you hear that? As the cause of severe symptoms and death in COVID-19 patients. High glutathione levels, man, those T cells do their job. Low glutathione levels, they just can't get ahead of the game fast enough. What the article basically implies is nobody with high glutathione levels died during the pandemic. They may have gotten sick, but they didn't die. So that's another function of glutathione, is to protect the immune system and those T cells and B cells. What else does it do? Well, it is the sole protector of the mitochondrial DNA. What does that mean? Well, as long as the mitochondrial DNA remains intact, and it's in every cell in your body, the cell can't mutate. But when it is compromised and broken, it makes the cell vulnerable, at risk for mutating. And we know what mutating cells end up with. And it's a word none of us ever want to hear for our relatives or ourselves. It scares the crud out of us. Many articles have been published that glutathione protects the mitochondrial DNA. How? Glutathione is the detoxifier of every cell in your body. It has this, by the way, glutathione is made by every cell in the body, every cell. Glutathione has a sticky sulfhydryl molecule that's like those sticky fly traps, insect traps, spider traps. Now they even have sticky mouse traps because that's what we use in our house. And it sticks to the fly or sticks to the spider. And with glutathione, that sulfhydryl molecule sticks to the chemical and it gets it out of the cell, thereby prolonging the integrity of the mitochondrial DNA, which is what we want to do. So that's critical. Last but not least, what it's best known for is its antioxidant value. Now, I heard antioxidants forever, but until I met a scientist in 2006, I thought it was all hocus pocus. But it's not. Every cell in our body is attacked by 10 to 20,000 free radicals every day of our life. Now, let's put that in perspective. Imagine somebody pounds at your front door right now, bam, bam, bam. And you open the door and you go, what's going on? And you say, there's 20,000 people coming down the road. They have rifles and knives and they all carry posters with your picture on it. They're coming for you. Well, somehow you miraculously escape before they get there. And the next day, in fact, you fly away to another city. Next day, bam, bam, bam. Get out of here. There's 10 to 20,000 people coming down with posters of you and knives and guns. Now, that's what happens with our cells. That's what free radicals do. And they attack those cells every single day of your life, from the time you're born till the day you die. Now, the reason free radicals are so bad, so damaging, is they're scavengers. They steal electrons from your cell. And when that happens, it creates what's called oxidative stress, an oxygen reaction, too much oxygen for your cells to deal with. You say, how can too much oxygen be bad? Hey, put a piece of iron in some water and you'll see it oxidize. And when you pull it out, it'll be full of rust. Okay, so oxidation can be bad. Well, reactive oxygen is bad, and oxidative stress. So oxidative stress does a lot of bad stuff, but it does two terrible, unforgivable things in your cells. Number one, it creates inflammation. So your cells have all this activity going on that's critical to the life of the cell, and all of a sudden there's an obstacle. There's like a Mount Everest there. So boing, can't complete that task. It's obstructing the smooth operation of the cell. That's what inflammation does. It is our mortal enemy. It's what causes wounds to take longer to heal. Burns take longer to heal. Athletes take longer to recover. Okay? Inflammation is bad. Well, it's caused by the oxidative stress. The other thing oxidative stress that nobody likes, it accelerates the aging of the cell. So simply stated, do you want your brain to get older faster or stay younger longer? I vote for older slower. I want to stay younger longer in my brain. I don't want to have the brain of a 90-year-old at the age of 78. Or the brain of a 100-year-old at the age of 78. I'll be 76 in August. So anyway, it accelerates the aging of every cell, every tissue, every organ in your body, from your brain, your skin, and we saw what aging skin can do, right? Okay. Here, now there you get an idea. None of us want to age more quickly. We want our kidneys to stay young. We want our lungs to stay young and healthy. Well, how fast they age is dependent on the oxidative stress. So now, enter to the stage antioxidants. What do? They donate one of their electrons to the free radical. And when they make that donation, it sequesters or captures that free radical and neutralizes it. Cool. Now there's a whole host of antioxidants. We can think of vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, CoQ10, catalase, superoxide dismutase, glutathione, and so on. There's quite a few. However, there's a whole spectrum of free radicals that are different from each other. They have different sources. Some are caused by oxygen, some are in our body, some by nitrogen, some by hydrogen. They have different chemical structures, and so they're all different, right? Well, all antioxidants are monofocused. That's like a hotel key. That hotel key card will open your door, but it won't open any other door in the hotel. That's monofocused. Vitamin E will take out that free radical, but it leaves all of these guys. C will take out that one and leave all of those. Superoxide dismutase, catalase, CoQ10, they're all monofocused. So they leave a lot more than they mitigate, okay? Now, glutathione, on the other hand, is called the master antioxidant because it's like the master key of a hotel. My neighbor down the hill owns a bunch of hotels. He has thousands of hotel rooms. He can walk into any of his hotels, tell the gal behind the desk, cut me a master key. Now, she does it for anybody else, she's in trouble, but she can do it for him. He says, I can open any door in the hotel, including the two most important, the kitchen and the accounting office. And so that's a master key. Well, glutathione is called the master antioxidant because it's not monofocused. Unlike all the others, it can sequester and neutralize all free radicals, regardless of their source, their structure, or their chemical composition. We have to deal with free radicals today. Our grandparents didn't have to. For example, those nice cell towers that have those 5G antennas, they throw microwaves into your body. And when those microwaves react with the nitrogen in your body, they create a free radical called peroxynitrite. Not nitrate, write it down, peroxynitrite. It lives 1 billion times longer than any other free radicals. It's so aggressive, it can actually go from one cell in your body to another cell. And guess what it does? It attacks the mitochondrial DNA. There's only one antioxidant that can sequester and neutralize peroxynitrite, glutathione. It can handle anyone. Problem is, like I said, our glutathione levels are declining as we age, but the attack on our cells and the need for the defense for all the 400 functions of glutathione, that never declines. You have to keep having oxygen transfer. You have to protect your immune system. You have to protect your mitochondrial DNA. You have to protect your body from the invasion of free radicals. And glutathione's the key. Declines. So let's all go to the health food store and buy some glutathione capsules, right? Wrong. Why? Because as soon as they hit the stomach, glutathione is such a fragile molecule that the stomach acid breaks it, and your cells will not accept broken molecules. It rejects them. Hallelujah. That's how God designed it. Any atheists on board? Sorry. Human body is far too complex to have just happened. Anyway, so that happens, and it's too fragile. So I know, let's go get a shot. You can actually get injections of glutathione, or you can get an IV, which is even better. It lasts longer, takes about an hour, an IV of glutathione. The IVs cost between $150 and $300. The injections usually cost around anywhere from $60 to $80. Problem. Number one, the solution they're in, it makes the molecule size too big to actually get into a lot of cells. It gets into a lot, but not all of them, not some of the most important ones, in fact. The other problem, the real problem, is the half-life of glutathione, once it's in your cell, is only 90 minutes. That means when you first get an injection or an infusion, The potency's right here. 90 minutes later, it's at half of its value. So you get about a 6-hour bang for the buck on an IV, and then you've got a tail where it's much less effective for about 20 to 30 hours. And so we have a doctor in Miami, Florida, a plastic surgeon who was doing surgeries, still does them 14 hours a day, 5 days a week. And he needs to have 100% mental focus and 100% physical endurance and stamina. So he was getting 3 IVs a week, $900 a week for years. Somebody told him about our product. He thought, well, there's no way a $2 serving can be as good as a 300 IV, but I'm going to try it. So he went off his IV for a couple of days, and then he tried our product. And to his amazement, it wasn't less focus and less stamina. It was better focus and more stamina. He never went back to the IV. In fact, he got so excited about the results that he called the person who introduced him to it, and they had me come out and tell how our science works to 42 doctors that crammed into his offices. And here I thought I was going to have to convince him. The testimonies of his nurses, his secretary, him, his wife, they did. I mean, that just made everybody want it. They really didn't need me. They just thought they needed me. Everybody signed up, all 42 of those doctors. And for the product, not to become a distributor, but to start using it in their own surgical practices. What else does glutathione do? Well, it changes here, and we're almost done. It changes how you go through your day. How you go through your day mentally, physically, and even emotionally and psychologically. And you say, well, how can it do that? Hey, you reduce oxidative stress. Guess what replaces it? Natural cellular energy. It's not like a stimulant that gives you a spike and then a crash. So you need lots of spikes and lots of crashes to get through your day. But it gives you this natural energy where you just don't wear down. And if you start to wear down mentally or physically, guess what you do? You take another 2 capfuls or one or two, swish again. Within 5 minutes, you're right back to where you were. We did a test with the United States Air Force at a classified air base, an F-35 air base. We did it with members of their security team. They have a 200-member security team that worked 12-hour shifts. And these guys were addicted to energy drinks. It's the only way they could get through their shifts. Without any prompting, it was a 4-month test. Without any prompting, they were all off their energy products in the first 4 days, never went back until they ran out of our product after 4 months. They still had their cup of coffee, but they couldn't believe how good they were getting through their day. And we weren't affecting their sleep. Their sleep went up. The quality of their sleep went up. And they got off their energy products, which are great because those are highly caffeinated typically, which can be hard on the cardiovascular system. It also creates higher incidence of PTSDs for the military and higher anxiety disorders and higher number of sleep disorders. Gone. First 4 days in a 4-month study. They couldn't believe it. Plus the productivity of their workouts, because they all had to work out 90 minutes 3 times a week. Their workouts, their productivity, how much weight they could lift, how long they could run, everything improved. They couldn't believe it. They'd never seen anything like it. And they were very disappointed when we said, okay, we've got to stop the test. It was only a 4-month test. We did the same thing with truckers and saw very similar results. We didn't do the trucker study. A doctor in Florida that's her client base, truckers, NASCAR drivers, professional drivers, and so on. So that's what we have. We are life-changing. We are life-saving. We don't treat, prevent, cure any disease, but we make cells better, healthier. Less oxidative stress means everything works better. We manufacture the product in-house, which means we keep our costs down. Guess what that means? It means we keep our price to consumers lower than what would be expected. I saw a product today, a competing product, $120 for a month. We're down to, if you're on auto ship, it's $50 a month. But ours, they don't have hydrostat. Theirs isn't impactful like ours is. And, but we do that. And we also have what some industry experts have called the most generous commission plan in the business. Why? We want to affect generations. If we can help a family out with their health, with the way they go through their days every day. Had a doctor call me. She said, I'm NEUMI for life. I said, why? And she told me her story. Then she told me what happened with her 87-year-old mother, what happened with her father, who recently passed away, but the last 8 months of his life were completely changed. And she says, I'm NEUMI for life. In fact, she's going to do concussion studies on her own. We're not sponsoring them, with a football team, a college football team here in the United States. She's off the charts excited, and we're excited about her. So what we have, nobody else has. Nobody. We alone have hydrostat. I came out of retirement, and the people that have joined our company, the executive team, joined because we can change lives. We're currently in 67 countries, so we're changing lives all over the world. When you change or save a life, you change a family forever. When you change that family, you've changed generations that are going to come from that family. We need you. We can't do this without you. We don't call ourselves a company with a field. We call ourselves a NEUMI family. And we honor all of our NEUMI family members all over the world. Those of you who have known us know that that's our heart. So we want to serve you, and we want to do all we can to help make you reach more people, because that's what we want to do. Michael, back to you.
Beautiful, Steve. Thank you so much. For anyone watching for the first time, you've got a really in-depth understanding on glutathione and now our product. Now, if you'd like to take the knowledge deeper, we'd highly recommend you hop into some of these Facebook groups. These are the ones managed by the company, so you know that all the testimonials are compliant. So this is the NEUMI New You group. You literally can see testimonials, before and after photographs, live stream interviews like this one happening right now in that group. You need to apply to join, which means you'll need to type in who invited you and then click agree to group rules. If you're a member and you're not in this group, you're missing out on all the trainings, announcements of the real community. That's the NEUMI member one. And if you're online right now listening to the beautiful Gloria translate for us, there is the company-run Latino group, mirrored, exactly the same as the English one. And then, of course, there is the company-run members group in Latin American, mirroring the English one as well. So they are the tools there to support you. So good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, no matter where you've been watching us from, and we'll see you next week. All the best.